Greetings everyone and welcome to the Occult Think Tank. My name is Greg. In this video I am going to be doing a response to the video I was an atheist until I heard Satan say these words. Now I want to let all of you know I have not watched this video other than the first few seconds. I haven't seen any of this. I'm doing that intentionally so that I respond to this at the same time it's going on video. This should be interesting, but I'm going to shrink down me so that you can see this dipshit. But before I switch over to that, I want to let you know, if you hear commotion in the background, I have a bunch of cats. So they could be zooming around the house while I'm doing this. Hopefully they'll leave me alone enough to get the video done. But here
I'm Pastor Alan DiDio, the host of Encounter Today and EncounterToday.com. And what you may not know is I was an atheist who had an encounter with Satan. Now, I need every single one of you who are watching this right now, I need you to share this video with as many people as you possibly can, because I believe some of you are about to have a divine encounter. At 17 years of age, I was an atheist. I despised Christians and Christianity. I'd been in jail more than once, and I didn't want anything to do with the church.
I'm going to pause him there because the thing is, he claims we're going to have a divine encounter in this. I'm looking forward to it, but I really want to know. I doubt he'll actually say this, but I'd really love to know how he determined that it was Satan that said these words. Because it's not as if we all know what Satan sounds like. It's not like Satan's Donald Trump. Well, some might think Donald Trump is Satan, but it's not as if this character of Satan has a distinguished voice. Maybe something like this, I don't know. But how do you determine that the one that's speaking to you is Satan? I don't think he has a driver's license or whatnot, but anyway, we'll let this continue.
A friend of mine had invited me to a church service. I didn't want to go, but there was a special choir that was going to be there, and as a lover of all different kinds of music, I said, I'll go, but I'm going to sit in the back row. And somehow we winded up on the second row. And it was a Pentecostal church. I'd never been in a Pentecostal church. People started talking in some unusual language and then praying for people, and they would fall on the ground. And I was looking for the first exit. If they didn't have one, I was going to create one. When all of a sudden the preacher looked at me, he pointed his finger and said, "You, I am laying hands on you now as a prophet of God to make you an example of what I can do with a young man sold out to me."
Hold the fucking phone. Now, I've been in churches. I even was coerced to going to a church after working third shift at a warehouse, and the friend that had twisted my arm to going to this church, this was in my 20s, before my days working at an adult bookstore. But I told him, if this preacher does a hellfire and damnation type of sermon, I'm going to sleep. And lo and behold, when everything got started, the hellfire and damnation came. I looked at my friend and I said, all right, good night. And I just slouched down in my chair and went to sleep. Literally, I did not care. I didn't want to hear it. I had no time for it. It was not the type of thing that I was even going to bother with. But this type of thing, if a preacher would be that bold with someone like me, it wouldn't go well. But let's continue.
And he laid hands on me, and as far as I was concerned, he pushed me down. I didn't feel anything. In fact, all I felt was confusion, frustration, and fury. I was angry at my friend for inviting me to this church. And I'm telling you this because I believe many of you have loved ones who you've tried to witness to, you've tried to invite them to church, and maybe they haven't responded the way you'd like them to. Don't look at the outward response. Because though I was angry and I was frustrated on the outside, something was happening on the inside. Over the next few days,
Well, first of all, if a preacher would push me down and so forth like that, I'd knock him out. I mean, that would just be my pow. If you're going to get physical with me, I'm going to get physical right back with you. That is something, as far as I see it and the way my brain works, talk to me about Jesus all you want. Talk to me about your God all you want. Don't put your fucking hands on me. Because you put your fucking hands on me, I'm putting my hand on you. And mine won't be nice. But I have so far have not seen anything from a Satan. But to continue this.
I didn't realize I was struggling, but doubt began to cloud my mind. I began to think these thoughts: God is not real. You don't believe in any of that. Don't ever walk through the doors of that church again. Well, there was some kind of party, a youth party, that I was invited to. I thought, well, that'll be safe. There were going to be girls there, and there's going to be free food. Why not? So I showed up on a Sunday night to a youth event. And during that youth event, everybody was playing, they were talking, they were having a good time. Music is blaring, foosball, pizza. But I was depressed. When I walked through the doors of the building, there was this dark cloud that seemed to hang over my head. I could barely lift my head up, just the doubt tormenting me. You don't believe in this. Get out of this church. You don't belong here. So I went and...
Hold on. I'm pausing this there because it wasn't long ago I went to a church that was actually a gym. And it was one... There was more exercise than anything, and I figured, fuck it, I need to exercise. This idea of, you don't belong here, I didn't have that. Didn't have any dark cloud over me. Everyone, I was very bold with it, letting everyone know I'm an atheist. I don't believe this shit. I don't believe it, but you're entitled to believe whatever the fuck you want. I'm all for freedom. But this idea of you don't belong here, where the fuck was that coming from? I would be more curious as to what's going on in this person's head. This indicates more to me that there's mental issues going on with this person, not atheist issues or a devil or any of that shit, or even a God. This is all internal dialogue. But let's continue.
Sat over in the corner. And as I sat there, with these thoughts bombarding my mind, all of a sudden, it was as if I was sucked into a tunnel. I don't know if you've ever been underwater before, and you know what it's like, how you can hear the sounds outside when you're underwater, but they're muffled. All of a sudden, all the sounds around me, the music, the teenagers talking, everything that was happening just seemed to be muffled, and all I could hear was this grotesque, distinct voice. It was saying the same things my thoughts were saying. You don't believe in any of this. Get out of here. And I recognized immediately, even as an atheist, that it was a voice of Satan.
Hold the fuck on. He heard this grotesque voice. Like I had said, like I told you, I didn't watch this. So he heard, you don't belong here. And he automatically said, that's Satan. How did he, what, by the voice? That's horse shit. If he was actually an atheist, I am. I do not believe in Satan. I do not believe in Satan. I do not believe in God. I doubt. I don't believe. The idea of being in a church, you don't belong here. Never had that. Never felt that. Never thought that. Even when I went to the church that was a gym type of thing. Now, just to give a bit of clarity on that, I did one round of their exercises, which was more going from riding a bike to going to a punching bag to deadlifting, back to another type of punching bag, speed bag. There was a large dummy that you could either fireman carry or drag it. Basically exercises like that, and to make matters worse for me, I was in jeans because I couldn't find a pair of sweatpants that I had. So I wore jeans. Yeah, I wore jeans to work out. Not a good idea. But at no point did I feel any of this, you don't belong here, or any of this demonic shit. Now, after one round of that exercise, I had said that I started talking to the preacher because it was more one of what I was interested in wasn't really working out. It was more I wanted to have a conversation with him. Him and I talking. Because that's pretty much what I'm about. I'd like to interview him sometime if he would be on the show. That he could call my Skype and so forth, and I would do a program for that. But this, so far, I'm calling bullshit on everything he's saying. Because I am an atheist. I've never had any of this. This sounds more like a script that a Christian would think up, not something an atheist would say, because nothing he is saying strikes me as how an atheist thinks. But let me know in the comment section what your thoughts are as you see this with me. But to continue.
Chills ran down my spine. Even now talking about it, I can feel the hairs on my arms standing up because it was a horrible sound. And I realized in that moment that all the thoughts I thought I was having, all of the decisions I thought I was making based on those thoughts, were inspired by demonic entities. It was as if God, like the Wizard of Oz, pulled the curtain away and allowed me to see who was really doing the talking. And if someone has shared this video with you and maybe you've been having thoughts of doubt concerning God, let me encourage you right now, those thoughts aren't coming from you, those thoughts are coming from the enemy. And that voice, loud as my voice is to you right now, saying, get out of here, you don't believe in any of this. And God showed me in that instant, not only that it was the voice of the devil, because it doesn't take much to realize that. If the devil's real, God is real. And God showed me how weak his voice was. That he was holding on for dear life, and he was only holding on to my life through deception. And God had exposed his deception. I didn't know how to pray. I wasn't raised in church. So I said, Satan, you can't have me anymore. Jesus, I'm all yours. And in that moment, the voice left, the torment left, the cloud lifted.
Official bullshit. Absolute bullshit. The idea that this isn't me talking, this is some demonic, and you notice how it switched from being the voice of Satan to something demonic. How do you tell the difference? How do you know the difference? This is all Christian crap. This is a scam. It's what they do. They make up stories that are so outrageous and they fill it with the bullshit from their cult. Because their intent is to try and scare you into this servitude or slavery, if we call it what it is, slavery to this Jesus. I'm not anyone's slave. I am a free person. I make my own choices. I think for myself. I do not appreciate anyone, a God or a Satan, trying to tell me what to do, tell me what to think. I'm not your little puppet on a string. I don't dance like a marionette. That's not how it works. If you want to have a conversation with me, fine, we can talk. But if you want to try and act like you're going to control my life, sit and spin. This idea of giving your life to Jesus, why? He had one, he fucked it up. He can't have mine. He fucked up his life, that's not my fault. This idea of giving your life to anyone. No, your life is yours. Make the best of your life. Don't let people manipulate you and try to pull bullshit like this and acting like if the devil's real, God's real. Neither of them are fucking real. They're delusions in your head. I have no evidence. Nothing that would point to a devil. Nothing that would point to a God. What I see far more clearly is that we have people like this that are obviously reading from a script, and if they actually believe this bullshit, they're suffering from delusional disorder. There is nothing real about this. This does not... I've been in churches as an atheist, didn't have any of this shit. Nothing.
And I felt this nagging feeling. I didn't know anything about the Bible. I didn't know the Bible says with the heart man believes, but with the mouth confession is made unto salvation. But I felt compelled to tell everybody what had just happened to me. So I made them turn off the music. I made everyone stop playing, stop eating, and through sobs and through tears, I shared with them the encounter, the experience I just had. And the moment...
Hold on. He said through sobs and tears. He made them, he took control of the whole situation, the whole room. These people, he was... He told them. Really? How much did you communicate? Through sobs and tears. It is poetic, but it is bullshit. You can't communicate anything while you're brutzing. It can't happen. You're not going to communicate anything rational. People would look at you like you're a fucking idiot. They would be, get hold of yourself and then talk to us. Don't be and think we're going to listen. I have no time for it. I'm sure anybody with any sense would be, get the fuck a hold of yourself and then talk to us. Don't act like you're going to try and give a message through sobs and tears. No, you're not. You get that bullshit out of the way and then you communicate. This is what makes me scream bullshit with stories like this. And this is common. This is what they do. They construct a bullshit story with their narrative that they want to push, and they put shit in there that is not real. It's not realistic. One, you don't identify a voice of some mythical creature that you've never heard. It's not Satan. It's just not. You don't, when you're crying, you're not going to be communicating anything intelligent. People that are on 911 calls, I'm sure, have far more experience of just how difficult it is to get anything coherent out of someone that is hysterical. They have to be very patient and so forth. And you're not going to have that with teenagers and so forth that are looking to have a party and be eating pizza and socializing with their friends. They're not going to be interested in your personal fucking drama. if anyone would be buying into this bullshit, they're more gullible than anything. Because this has me screaming bullshit.
I testified. Weights I didn't even know were binding me were lifted. Bondages I didn't know that I had were broken, and I was instantly and totally set free. Listen to me. I don't know whether you're listening to this for a loved one or you're the loved one someone has shared this with. Satan's power is weak. His deception is deep, but it's being exposed right now. In a moment, I'm going to pray for you to have an encounter, but you need to give your life over to Jesus.
No, he's not, and no, I don't. And that's where this video, at least for that part of it, ends. The idea that you need to do, I don't need to do shit. This is something Christian preachers need to get through their fucking head. I don't need to do shit. I don't need your goddamn Jesus. My life improved a hell of a lot when I walked away from your fucking cult. My thinking cleared up. I no longer was looking at things with demon glasses on or anything like that. I looked at it as the real world, reality, things that I could prove. The idea of a devil, a God, it's all deception. It is all deception created by the Christian in order to push their mindset, what I would call mental illness. The idea of possession is play acting. You're pretending to be some... You're doing a role that you think fits the part. It's nothing real. It's not actual. The idea... I've heard stories of people levitating and so forth. Never seen it. That... I'm not saying it would convince me of a devil or a God, but it would convince me of something weird is going the fuck on. And I would need to get it on video. I would need to have physical evidence of this. Because what I would also be looking for is, all right, are there any wires, how is this trick being done? Because there are things Penn and Teller have done, like the bullet catch, that you could look at and go, how the fuck did they do that? It was a trick, I can guarantee you. And I can guarantee you these ideas of possession and so forth. It's a trick. It's an illusion that is being done that most of us wouldn't know how the trick is done. But somebody that is a magician most likely would be able to see how the trick is being done because they know what to look for. The thing is, this doesn't convince me of a Satan or a God. All this shows me is, yeah, Christians are making up bullshit. It's no different. The story does not change. Nothing about it changes. Feel free to leave your thoughts and comments in the comments section. Later, people.